ho, ho, everyone, and welcome to this week's League Manager's Note. As always, I'm joined by Joel Gibson. I am your commissioner. I am your reigning champ. I am the buzzsaw. I'm a lot of things, but what am especially happy about is Bam and Hero being back. Merry Christmas to everybody. Joel, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Like, we get it. Calm down. Oh, we'll start with the champs matchup. Number 2, Modest 6-2 at the number 5, Neiman 5-3. Neiman kept it close, but at the end of the day, I just had too much in the tank. We watched Trey Murphy and Ingram on Thursday. It was incredible. Great game by Trey Murphy.
Did you hear what the coach said after?
No, what'd he say?
He said Trey Murphy should have had 40.
He should have had 40. He absolutely should have had 40. You know who's also playing pretty well? Okoro. I like that. Just while everybody is out, I'm just like bottom feeding with Okoro right now. It's great. Poor Neiman had 2 triple doubles. I don't know if Sabonis got one last night. Because after a certain thing happened, I shut off the game and went to bed. But I still beat 2 triple doubles, and I have Joker. I had no triple doubles. I feel really good about this win, Joel Gibson. Feel really good.
Yeah, it's a good one. Neiman's got a top-heavy team. Excuse me. I think Wiggins missed some games for him.
Mm-hmm.
Did Embiid miss any games, or did he play all week?
No, he played all week. Neiman was not on the wire at all. I think I added 1 or 2 just to make sure. But at the end of the week, looking back, I probably didn't have to. So that's kind of what I regret. I'm trying to save money where I can. But that being said, I'm not overly bummed about spending, I believe, $4 this week. My $4th was the ad today to prepare for Matthew next week so I can kick him out of the playoffs. It's going to be a good time. That being said, we'll go to your matchup, Joel. You were the number 3 team, 5-3, playing Kyle, who was 2-6, the number 12 team. As expected, Kyle didn't give a damn or try or respect the matchup whatsoever. He could have easily cycled you out. So somehow, with 6 players injured, you get the win here. Good win for you. It just sucks. If we had an owner that cared about his team or cared about just being competitive and beating the upset teams and stuff like that, you would have been in real trouble this week. And I'm not trying to downplay your win. It's just kind of annoying. So, I'm trying to cut back a little bit, but congrats on your win.
Thank you. Yeah, against all odds, we came out victorious. Down half a roster. Kyle should have definitely beat me, but he didn't. And that's huge for our season and for the seeding purposes going forward.
Oh, and just one last thing on your matchup while we have it up, and since you won and everything. I believe last week I talked quite a bit to you about a certain someone sitting on Thursday. And can you tell somebody who sat on Thursday that Mr. Modest might have predicted would sit on Thursday?
Was it Darius Garland?
It was not. No, the one I predicted. See, I'm being very specific. He's not on the Cavs.
They both sat.
They did, yes. Did we get...
Because he sat too.
Did we get to see Zion, this being your second attempt in a row of trying to see Zion in person, trying to see that belly from the free throw line? Joel, did he play on Thursday? I can't remember. I know it was just a few days ago and we were both there, but did he play?
Not very much.
No, not at all, Joel Gibson. So it looks like I was right on that one 100%. Next matchup is CJ at Matt. One that Matt had to have here, and Matt sat the win. Now, he was a little bit of a victim of LeVert not being officially ruled out until after the designated tip time right? And we've talked about this in the scheduling and stuff like that. So I can somewhat sympathize with him, but also if you were paying attention to the Cavs at all, you could have kind of guessed that LeVert wasn't going to play. And I still hold that position. I would have probably played KCP. Now, would I have played KCP knowing that he was going to get 4 blocks? Absolutely not. But I would have at least wanted a guaranteed play in there with how close it was and how much the matchup meant. Especially as it was getting close. If I didn't know, I'd rather play the person that I knew was playing 100%. CJ gets the win here. Huge for CJ. He has the West he's going to have to run through one more time. But getting the win here does keep CJ's playoffs hopes alive.
Which, I think we say this every week, but it's crazy that CJ's team is hoping to get into the playoffs considering how stacked the top is.
Absolutely, and only has a 33% win rate.
But Jaw can't save Matt if he decides to sit the win.
Yeah, if he decides to sit players and, and they were both very active on the wire this week. You were active on the wire this week. It was fun to watch. But yeah, it's a bummer when you have those stats on the bench. Now, Joel Gibson, I would like to talk to you about somebody else who left some stats on the bench. That's right. I waited the whole way till the 4th matchup for the upset of the week. Adam, number 7, taking on Phil, number 1. Phil loses on Sunday. Adam gets it done with Fox, and it was in the 4th quarter that he finally made the last field goal percentage. Now, Joel, if you are looking at the scoring here and you scroll down to the bench on Sunday, you're going to see that Phil sat a man by the name of Luka Doncic. 40-point triple-double. Doncic. I can't say his last name right. That's why I call him Luka.
Wow, that hurts.
That's not only bad, that's sitting your best player. That there's under no circumstance should he have been on the bench. 0 whatsoever. I'm sure Phil was up in the mountains somewhere or down in the valley or wherever he is on any given occasion, but that is no excuse. You are the number 1 team in the league. You sit your best player and you end up losing because you sat your best player.
Yeah, this very well could cost him the number 1 seed.
It very well could. He has to lose one more game, but it was funny because we were talking about how hot Adam's been. His team has been electric lately, so I do not want to play Adam.
I'd like another crack at him.
Well, yeah, but you lost to him, so I mean, if he catches you in record, just remember you're below him. And he is 1 win behind you, sir.
Fair enough, but I'd like to set the record straight.
Excellent. Yeah. Shout out to Adam for staying hot. Next one is Steven at Cody. Go Steven. Did you pick Steven and I pick Cody, or did we both pick Cody?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. I got to start paying attention to who we actually pick. It would probably make for some better content. Steven wins here. He breaks the 4-game losing streak. He won his first 4, lost his last 4. Cody is injured. Pirtle is non-existent in the Raptors anymore. I don't know what we're doing with him. No Mobley. But Sengun continues to be outstanding for Cody. This man is finally coming into his little mini Joker ways, and it's been really good. Houston's been good and fun to watch.
Yeah, the most surprising team in the league this year.
For sure. Hey, do you know Freddie VanVleet's doing pretty well too?
I heard this annoying guy talk about that this week on Thursday.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was fun to go through all of my great players with you and show you that, truly, when I'm healthy, Very few can compare. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll just have to see when we're both healthy.
Well, that'll never happen for you when you have Zion and Kyrie on your team, so don't worry about that. Last
Hey,
matchup. No, last
yeah,
matchup. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Last matchup, we have Jake at Doug. Now, Doug wins this matchup, and again, he continues to confuse me. Is he trying to get into the playoffs? Is he not trying to get into the playoffs? I'm not 100% sure, but he spanked Jake. It was like 11.5 to 1.5. It was bad, and Jake was rolling.
yeah, that was a tough one. That's a tough one. Um, Jake's team has some holes and some health issues this week, um, but Doug's team came out roaring. I remember saying like week 1 that us letting him get Kobe White off the wire for nothing was a mistake.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really come back to bite us.
Yeah, a lot. I actually love what White's been doing, if I'm honest. Don't tell Doug. But yeah, without Ball, he's winning games. It's crazy to me. He moves to 4-5. Jake moves to 3-6, kind of in that danger zone, and we'll get into this week's rankings and stuff. Anything else from this week that stuck out to you, Joel Gibson? Besides 2 people sat wins, one owner doesn't care, and everyone else kind of took care of business except for Phil, who lost. Those are the highlights of this week.
I'd agree with that, but I think the top became much more interesting.
I agree. That's a good point. That's a really good point. All right, well, getting into week 10, Christmas, and that's going to be coming up here soon. Oh, one last thing I do want to correct real quick. Not this week, but this past week, Phil scored 1,001 points in 1 week. I do want to point that out because that's the highest scored week to ever be recorded in the league or anything like that. You know, we had the expansion to deeper teams too, so obviously the points would get higher. But it was the highest single week, and it was the first time that anybody had broke 1,000. So I apologize to Phil, but not very much because you sat the win this week sitting Luka. But I do apologize for last week. We shot before that game concluded, and he literally got 1,001. So we didn't know about it, but I do want to shout out to Phil and more just mark that it's the highest scoring week thus far. Now we get into week 10. We have number 11, Matt, who's 2-7 at Mr. Modest, the champ, 7-2. He's the number 2. Obviously, he's number 2 because Phil and myself have the same record, but Phil beat me in an unfortunate week of injuries for me. Yeah, Matt needs this win, but it's me at home. And I have a strong lineup on Christmas, and that normally bodes well for the Christmas week. More so because it just seems like you get a couple extra games played. That being said, I think that after day 1, I'm going to have this lead, and I will not give this lead up the rest of the matchup. Shout out to Matt, but this just isn't the year, and this loss could likely kick him out. He'll be 2-8 with 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 games to go. That's going to be tough to get in. I mean, the best record he could put up would be 7-8, and you're hoping to get in the top 8 at that point.
Yeah, it's interesting because he just got Morant back, but it just might be too late for his season. Is it in his best interest to actually lose this week, or should he go for it? It's hard to say, but I don't think you're really going to give him an option.
Nope. My plan is to beat him up and down the court. Next one is going to be the matchup of the week. Now, it's going to be the number 6 Neiman, 5-4, at Adam, who's also 5-4. I have Adam at number 4. Why? Because I have him favored in this matchup myself. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the 4 through 7 picture. So the teams that are at 4, Adam, 5 is Steven, 6 is Neiman, 7 is Cody. The tiebreakers between these teams are absolutely insane. Neiman has beat Cody and Steven. Steven has beat Cody and Adam has beat Cody. Yes, Cody has lost to all 3 of the 4 through 7 is what I'm calling them. So that's why he's number 7. The only 2 teams that haven't played are actually Neiman and Adam, who are playing this week. Adam's coming in heavy, coming in really hot. He is the home team, but I do want to point out that Neiman had 2 triple doubles last week. So just keep that in mind when you're picking. But I'm staying with the hot hand here. I'm going with Adam.
Yeah, I also am going to pick Adam. He won my respect when he beat me. And I think he's going to collect another win here.
Andy beat Phil. Remember, he has 2 tiebreakers with 2 of the top 3 teams. Wait, let me check my watch. Oh, I beat Adam. Wow, how incredible. See how these little tiebreakers might just start working out, and I still might have a shot at that 1 seed. Be real quiet about it, but I might still have it. We'll see. Next matchup, we have Cody at CJ. I have CJ at number 10. Jake is actually at number 9. They both share the same record of 3-6, but Jake actually won their matchup in a tie, so Jake gets the bump forward. Cody's at 7 for obvious reasons. Like I said, he's lost to 4, 5, and 6. So tiebreakers and moving up will be extremely difficult for him. This one's tough for me because Cody's kind of injured. We don't know quite what's going to go on with CJ. And he also has a lot of Christmas Day players. That being said, I am going to take CJ at home. I think he wants it more. I think he's going to add more. And he's going to go for it. I'm taking CJ at home. I just don't have enough answers for the questions that Cody's putting up right now.
I think Cody's just a little too injured. The Mobley injury really, really hurts. And I forget who else is injured on his team right now, but I feel like there's at least one more key injury. So I'm going to pick CJ. CJ's due for a couple of wins here.
Yep. Next matchup, we have Joel at Jake. Joel enters at number 3. He's 6-3. 3 losses for Joel Gibson. I love saying that number. It feels good. At Jake, who is 3-6, the inverse, number 9. Joel is still really injured. He might get, I believe you said, Duran and Fultz back.
Fultz, baby.
Might. I don't believe you're getting Duran back. I think Isaiah Stewart's going to continue to cook, and I'm going to laugh at you as he put up a 5-5-20 night last night. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. And he had 4 threes. He's a monster.
Wait. If I get Sharp, Fultz, and Duran back, that's pretty huge. I also have some cycle spots open, and frankly, seeding is important enough that if even 2 of those guys is back, I'm willing to go for it if necessary. So I'm going to pick myself.
Yeah, I'm also going to pick you. Jake just hasn't been on the wire. I'm not 100% sure if he knows how the wire works. Text me, big dog. But, yeah, I think that it just means more to you. And so I assume that you might have a couple of those back, not Duran. But it's going to be enough to get it done against Jake. Next matchup is Doug. Entering at number 8, right on the borderline of the playoffs without ball. He's somehow floating 4-5 record right now at Steven, who's 5-4, number 5 team. He finally broke the streak for me. This game is much, much bigger for Steven than it is for Doug. Again, I kind of go back to What's Doug doing down there? Every week he's up, down, adding, not adding. I have no idea what he's doing. I know Steven will spend money though. And like I said, this win kind of means more to Steven. I'm going to say Steven because I believe in the West, and it'll make things much more interesting if he wins. And makes the bottom more interesting as well. So I'm going to go for the good of the league, picking Steven.
I'm just assessing Doug's health. I think Jalen Johnson is supposed to come back this week.
Yeah, they said Tuesday was their thought. They're optimistic, I think is the word they used.
Man, I want to pick Steven.
Do it. You're seeing them this week. We're hanging out this weekend. Do you really want to go into Homestead and be like, I picked against you? You could get shot, bro.
I'm going to follow my heart. I'm picking Steven.
Love it. Love it. Love picking it. And it's funny because Doug also seems to win the games we don't pick him, so it makes it more interesting as well. But either way, it'll make for interesting content. Last one, we have the snooze fest of all snooze fests. The number one, Phil 7-2 at Kyle 7-2. He's obviously the worst team in the league and is at number 12. Yeah, I mean, Phil wins. Okay, that's all I got to say. He's playing a ghost owner at this point that we have no real direction for. We haven't seen any kind of plan at this point. He's not setting lineups. He doesn't care about beating big names. He is coasting through, and that is 100% not getting it done against Phil unless Phil plays 2 illegal lineups. Not only 1, he needs 2, and he'd still probably beat Kyle.
Yeah, I'm picking Phil. Pretty handedly for all the reasons that you said.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Ollie is starting to eat those carrots, solid foods with every meal, if anybody wants a little update. His first Christmas tomorrow. He turns 6 months on the December 30th. The boy is getting big. Boy's getting big. That being said, just from me to all your families, wherever you are, sincerely, enjoy the holidays. It's given me a little bit of a different perspective on the holidays, becoming a dad and stuff like that. And so, truly, I hope everybody enjoys it. I'm going to be looking forward to this upcoming weekend where I get to see Joel and I get to see CJ and Steven. So, all super exciting things happening for this week. I hope you guys have the same exact amazing week. And also remember, I'm the champ. Joel?
See you soon, guys. Good luck.
See ya.